Today, I'm starting a new series on my channel and it's called 7 Questions. So how the series will work is once a month, I'll ask you guys on Instagram for your questions about a specific topic. This month, it's all about my home, and then I'll pick 7 questions and answer them in a video. So if you guys aren't already following me on Instagram, go give it a follow, then you know when the next time I post about these questions, and then you can ask me questions. What's your favorite room in your house? That's easy. It's definitely our kitchen. I absolutely love our kitchen and how it turned out. And I spent a lot of time in here cooking. If you want to see a full tour of our kitchen, I posted a video that's like my kitchen tour, so you can see this a lot more in depth. Question number 2, how to make an outdated bathroom work before you can afford to renovate and update the space. Great question, because I have a pink bathroom. Oops, and knocked stuff over. This is our pink bathroom. It's very cute and quaint and very 1950s. So we haven't updated really anything in here, but my recommendation would be to keep it simple. Paint. Paint the walls, paint the trim, paint it like just a classic white. If you're not really sure what white to pick, base it off the like toilet and tub color in your bathroom. That way you'll kind of have like a nice consistent white color. The tub and toilet in our bathroom is a bit on the cooler gray side, so we went with a cooler gray white, and it just kind of ties it all together. That way you're not having different tones of white. So kind of keeping within the same white theme. A couple other things you can do is just, like I said, keep it simple, keep it classic. This is a really simple waffle weave shower curtain. I got it from, I think, Target or something like that. But very, very classic bathroom type of shower curtain. And then other little things you can do is keep with the age of your home. Something like this little soap dispenser, it like fits with the vibe of our 1950s bathroom. Another thing I did was I added a little bit of white trim here. All the way around, it's literally just each one is stapled together and each one of the corners all the way across. And then, I don't know if you can even see this. Anyways, it's being held up by command hooks behind here, which has surprisingly held up pretty well. Another really easy update would be to change out the hardware on your cabinetry in the bathroom, and then find a rug that will mostly cover up your ugly floor. That's what I did in here. So this bathroom's been totally livable, but things are just a bit ugly about it, but you know, I can't complain too much. Question number 3, what's your next house project? This bathroom. Question number 4, what's your favorite and worst part of remodeling your home? That's a good question. I think my favorite part is the end result, of course, but more specifically, I get exactly what I want out of a space. I mean, within reason and budget. Like our kitchen, for example, I got to paint the cabinets the color that I wanted. We got to put in the countertop that we wanted and the backsplash, and I really got to like design every little nook and cranny of the space. The worst part, I mean, I enjoy doing like the actual work of it, but I think the worst part is when things go over budget and over time, which always happens, always happens. A project is always going to probably take you twice as long and cost you like 20% more than you expected. I also really hate when I try and DIY something and it doesn't work out. We just tried that in the basement, making these shelves. Do you have any remodeling or decorating regrets? What would you have done differently? I only have one real big decorating regret that I really wish I would have done differently. And that is our trim color. See how our trim is like slightly grayer here? And this looks like more of a true white? It's because of what I picked for the color of the trim. So here's what happened with the trim color. I went to go get my trim at the hardware store. I didn't really know what I was going to get. It was kind of like, all right, we need white for the trim. I gotta go buy a bunch of paint. And I should have A, brought swatches home, and B, been a bit more direct with what I wanted at the, like how I said A with 1, B with 2. at the store to the gentleman that was helping me. Anyways, he showed me the most popular trim color, which was White Dove, which looked really, really yellow in the store. And so I was like, I don't want that. That looks not good. And I was looking at some other ones, and I had one color in mind, which was Simply White. So I asked him, what about the color Simply White? And he thought I was asking for the color, just simply the color white. So in that miscommunication, I thought I was ordering Simply White, the color, and he thought I was ordering simply the color white. So I got simply the color white, and that's what our trim is. It's Benjamin Moore white, and during the daytime, or like when it's like sunny out, it looks pretty much like white, but I notice it more when it's like dim in our house, and it has a very gray tone. And that like sets the tone for the whole house, and it just kind of bugs me, but I really don't think anybody else would notice. It's just me who notices it, that I got a really like cool gray, almost bluish based white versus like something with a bit more warmth or like a tiny bit of yellow in it to really make the white pop in the space. So do bring home swatches and actually look at them in your house when you're picking your trim color, because by the time I realized I had screwed up the trim color, we were far into painting the trim, and I was not about to go back and repaint them to simply change the shade of white. But it still bugs me. It still kind of bugs me every so often. If I were going to do the trim color white again, I would either have gone with the actual Simply White color or the color that we're doing in the basement, which is Chenille Lace by Benjamin Moore. I'm really into that color. It's like a nice, clean, crisp white without being too gray or too yellow. So actually, that's probably the color I would have gone with. Where do you get your inspiration for your home? I'd say I get the bulk of my inspiration online. Some of my favorite people to follow on Instagram are Studio McGee, Amber Interiors, Emily Henderson, who else? Wit and Delight. I feel like I'm missing another one that I really like. Oh, and I kind of really like Joanna Gaines too. I'm not like full country farmhouse vibe, but I really love the modern farmhouse look. What's your biggest splurge? I'll show you. This fridge right here. So being that we have a 1950s house, things are different in sizing than they are today. And not all appliances fit a 1950s house. Here's where we ran into a dilemma when we went to go search for appliances. This fridge needs to be counter depth so that it doesn't stick out further than this counter. But it can't go any wider than exactly what it is, because that's our pantry and our access to our attic. So we had to find kind of like a really small width fridge that wasn't very deep. There's a ton of fridges out there that are counter depth, but they're like another 6 inches to like 12 inches wider. And that obviously wasn't gonna work because I still wanted to use our pantry and possibly get access to our attic. Pretty much what we found out is there were 2 fridges on the entire fridge market that would fit our kitchen. Turns out it just so happened to be the entire budget we had planned for our kitchen appliances. So we balled out and pretty much had to get this fridge. It's beautiful. I really like the fridge. I wish I could have gotten the whole like suite for a whole kitchen, but that was like $7 grand. But it's got fancy little buttons in here. This thing is packed, by the way. It's Thanksgiving. See, it's got fancy little buttons like a fast freeze. I don't know what that does. Bottle chill. Oh, I don't want to make it warmer. Gosh, just stop touching these. I can mute the alarm and something about compartments. I actually don't know what any of that does. And then we just got like a nice little drawer freezer. So that's it. That's my first 7-question series. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's like a topic you'd like for me to cover in the future 7 questions, leave it down below and I will maybe use it. Like I said, go follow me on Instagram if you aren't already, so then you know when the next 7 question series goes.